Hey everyone, it's Amanda Ferranti here. I wanted to put together a brief video just to discuss the opportunity that we all have to use the teachings of sports psychology to support your child in their soccer journey. And the reason why I'm doing this is because too often there is a negative stigma attached to the word psychology, as if there's something wrong with you or you're not good enough, so you need help. But this really couldn't be further from the truth. And I'm telling you this as a, performer myself. I've played soccer in college at Princeton and then at the semi-pro level, and I really wish that I had the tools that I am now teaching at that point. And not because there was anything wrong with me, it's just because it could have helped me, play consistently, play to my ideal, to my potential more frequently. I mean, there's so much going on in your mind and your body that you don't really feel a sense of control over. And sports psychology is really a collection of sciences. And what I want to do is go through a framework that I developed that I feel like helps to understand really the essence of what I'm talking about. And I designed it because I work with kids mostly. So it is a way for them to easily comprehend what is sports psychology. Why am I in this training session right now? How is this going to help me perform, play better on the field? So if you look here, I explain it this way, and I'm just going to run through it. Every single athlete experiences triggers. They could be positive triggers. They could be negative triggers. In soccer, some negative triggers, some examples are mistakes, losing possession of the ball, getting yelled at, maybe getting subbed, a ref, an injury, etc., losing. So whatever the trigger is, it's unique to that individual. Yes, we all have similar triggers, but that individual is going to experience it in their own way. And I describe the experience in three distinct ways. So you have your body cell activity. That's your fight or flight response. Your physiological state. Is your heart rate elevated? Do your muscles get tense? Does your vision get narrow? Do you get butterflies in your stomach? So we want to know, and sports psychology empowers us and gives us information to teach players what's going on inside their body. And this one's important to me because I ask a lot of players, I ask everyone I work with, have you learned about the fight or flight response? And the younger kids have not. I'm getting the sense that it's not taught until later on in high school. And they're capable of understanding their body and their heart rate and their blood flow. So this is something I really do wish was taught younger, and sports psychology gives us the opportunity to do that. All right. And then the next section here are your emotions. Again, emotions not necessarily taught in school. Hopefully things are starting to change and we're getting subjects on emotional regulation, but even at the most basic level, we can teach players how to identify and label their emotions. Like, what are you actually feeling? Is it frustrated? Is it embarrassed? Those are different. Is it disappointed? So these are different classes of emotions, and we can just help our player label them. And then there's all processes on how to manage them using actionable strategies. So again, through the context of sports, we're teaching the universal process of managing emotions. And this was very true for me. I mean, I created my program. I created these frameworks and an emotional management process called the 5 A's. I did that for myself while I was playing semi-pro, while, just building a business. I wanted the tools to help myself go from a negative emotional state back to a positive one. And I wanted it on a piece of paper so that I could work through it and have it more tangible, So, and that gave me that sense of control I was talking about. All right, and then the final area are thoughts. So we all have these thoughts. We all have a critical voice, and I try to explain that to kids. It's like that negative voice that you have, it's okay. We kind of all have one. Couldn't tell you why, but just normalize it, validate, say, okay, that voice is, let's just be aware of what that voice is saying. I'm not good enough. I have to play my best all the time. What are your beliefs? What do you expect of yourself? Are you saying, what if, should, I can't? Asking questions like, why? So sports psychology gives us a way to say, okay, what does your critical voice sound like? It's just a platform. It's a context, really, to get into those deeper, maybe more uncomfortable conversations about thoughts. And here on the framework, we're building awareness. So what are these three, how is my body responding in these three ways? And then what's my behavioral result? What is my performance? So I use both words because from a performance point of view, you know, are you hesitating on the field? Are you hiding from the ball? Are you getting quiet? And behaviorally, there could be defense mechanisms or what we call blind spots. You know, are you blaming your teammates? Are you avoiding practicing? Are you ignoring your mistakes? So things that, again, or crying, you know, maybe your player doesn't even realize it, but having a framework like this makes it easier to talk about and understand all together. It's like, okay, when I'm performing, what is distracting me? What is holding me back? And so we actually take the opportunity, which I believe this truly is an opportunity, to address the psychological aspects of the game, or the aspects here on this framework. We are really making fundamental changes that are needed to perform consistently at a high level. All right. And when players put in effort, and we talk about effort all the time, but what about effort on the psychological components? What about effort on managing your emotions and regulating your body and changing your thoughts? Okay, it's great to spend the effort with the ball, of course, but I think a lot of people would agree that about 75% of the game, if not more, really is comprised of this framework and these mental components. So I think if we put in the effort, you can see some results. And some examples from my clients that I work with is like, you see players start to feel more comfortable with the ball at their feet. They're asking for the ball. They're taking players on. They're taking more shots and not so worried about missing. They're getting more positive feedback and praise from their coaches, maybe more playing time. And the list goes on. And honestly, if you don't believe me, check out my testimonials on my website. They are just unprompted messages, text messages, emails of gratitude, just demonstrating, you know, countless number of parents like yourself who saw the opportunity to help their child learn actionable tools and enjoy the process of soccer, you know, enjoy the journey. So, you know, my final note, like, as parents, I know you want to, you know, I know you want to be the hero. I know you want to provide as much as possible for your child. And I know you want to do the right thing. And sometimes you're afraid because it's confusing in the soccer landscape right now. So I think sports psychology is a tool, especially for you as parents. You know, I do work with players, but I'm here now with a whole new set of services for parents, because I really do want to help empower you to guide your player. So instead of viewing sports psychology like as a failure or there's something wrong, I want you to view it as a powerful asset that is helping your player really separate from the pack. All right, and so I want you to stay tuned for another video. I hope you enjoyed this overview. In the next video, I want to share a specific activity. You know, as I said, this sports psychology has a lot of tangible strategies, especially in my practice. So I want to share one of those activities that you can use and that I use with my clients in my private practice. And I would love to hear from you. So you can see the comment section below. Please add a comment or a question that I can incorporate in my next video. And I thank you very much for listening. Take care.